fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am Virat, your surrogate at arms for today, and I warmly welcome you to all to join the 652nd meeting of the Millennium City Toastmasters Club. So let's give a big round of applause. Before we dive into today's exciting session, there are 4 basic ground rules left to go through. I kindly request everyone to please silence their mobile phones. I will give 10 seconds. I hope it's done. And the second rule is, as Toastmasters, we kindly avoid discussing on topics related to sex, religion, and politics. And third, please refrain from cross-talking when someone else is speaking. And kindly, please do not leave the room when the speaker is delivering their speech on the stage. Please keep these rules in the mind. Now, may I request everyone to please stand. We will receive the club's Toastmaster mission together. You need to repeat after me. The mission of our Toastmasters Club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills by resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Thank you. With that, I officially declare today's meeting open. And now, it's time to invite someone who is Toastmasters member since 2020 and joined MCPC Gurgaon in July 2025 and is currently working in XLRI and also today's presiding officer for the meeting, Toastmasters Trust.
A very good morning and a warm welcome everyone.
Good morning.
As president, someone who's got to come here and speak to you, every Saturday I am pumped with this question, what is it that I will simply share that will end up motivating my club members towards their personal growth in some manner. And last evening when I sat down to think about it, I was suddenly reminded of how I also happened to join a space which is very, very supportive in terms of our psychotherapeutic experiences are concerned. Because often what happens is, knowingly or unknowingly, when we get hurt for some reason or the other, even if we might say it's okay, we get over it, a part of it somewhere remains deeply embedded in us. And that in turn can often create havoc in our lives without even knowing what the root cause of the problem is. So to ensure that I am able to work on these aspects in my own self, I am part of an organization called Sukrut, which operates out of Bangalore, and we sort of meet maybe once or easy? Believe me, it was scary. My first attempt at it, I was rejected 13 times. And I got a job in the 14th attempt. And my first job that way was, I had to dust shoes kept in a Bata store. And that too, I'm pretty sure they saw the desperation on my face and gave me that job. So, it was a very humbling experience. But that sense of having to go, not being able to use my skill set as a speaker, as a teacher, as a Toastmaster, but just to go and say, please, can I get a job? Boy, it sets us on track, tells us what is it that is important and tells us who is it that we are. While I do not force anyone or propagate such an extreme process to all of you all seated here today, but I do invite you that every once in a while, when you feel slightly comfortable, to see who is it that you are above and beyond the various roles that we learn to assume in our lives. Well, I hope that has left you with something to think about at the end of our session today as well as we keep moving forward. And now on that note, I would love to hear a little from our guests today. I think we have only one guest.
Yeah.
Yes, if you could please tell us a little about yourself.
I am Dr. Vikas Shinde. I am working as a general manager in bioenergy company at Okla, New Delhi.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Dr. Great. Do we have any other guests today? You are a member, right? Okay. Well, on that note, I will quickly move on to the proceedings of our day, and for that we have an amazing Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Tapesh, who will walk us through the session today. A little about him. Toastmaster Tapesh joined us in Toastmasters fraternity way back in 2011. However, this happens to be his third stint in the process. He works as a buyer in PJX Corporation, and his hobbies include walking, and he's a perennial lifelong learner. Let us give a big round of applause to Toastmaster Tapesh.
Thank you, Madam President, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. Just hearing this 2011 just making me feel really old. So I did 3 stints. The first one was 2 years, then back in 2018 to 2021, and now 2025 I recently joined, and this is my 3rd stint running. So today, as Shavasti shared, I'm acting as Toastmaster of the Day. As Toastmaster of the Day, my role is to introduce theme for today's meeting, and that is situational leadership. So I'll be talking more about that, and I will also introduce the structure of the meeting. The members know it, but for the benefit of guests who have just joined us, our meeting is divided into 3 parts. The first section is prepared speeches, in which speakers have prepared their speeches based on certain objectives given by the Toastmasters. Then the second section is table topics, which is the most fun session, open to everyone. It is an impromptu speaking. So a topic is given right there and then you have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. 4 minutes from the most dreaded session. The third section is evaluation section, the most amazing session of Toastmasters, in which every speaker who is speaking over here gets evaluated by the evaluators. So that's the overall structure of the meeting. And before I dive deep into the theme of the meeting, let's have some fun and laughter. And for that, I would like to invite our Joke Master of the Day. Our Joke Master of the Day joined us back in October 2024. She is an MA in English and diploma in special studies, special education. She loves dancing and singing, and And now I would like to invite Toastmaster Ashera as Toastmaster.
Good morning, everyone. Today I am here to share a joke with you. So the joke is once a couple got married and the husband was very confused. He was not able to think that how to talk to his new wife. So he asked have you told your parents that today you are about to stay here in Millennium? And the wife was like, yes, I've told them. I've told my parents. That's it. Thank you.
Now is also the time I would like to invite our general evaluator, because the third section will be taken care of by the general evaluator. So our general evaluator for today is a seasoned Toastmaster who joined back in 2016. He is a technology architect at an MNC, and his hobbies include traveling, trekking, and learning. Now with this, I would like to invite our general evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Mark.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tapesh. It's the IPL season now. Anybody following all these exciting matches, high-scoring matches?
Yes.
Yeah. So for each good conduct of each match, whether all the teams are playing by the rules, everybody is following the rules, and there are no fighting on the ground. There is an official appointed by the BCCI, and that is the referee. So today I am playing the role of referee for this meeting, so that meeting is conducted in a smooth and fair environment. Just like how referee uses Hawkeye and spider game, I will be monitoring minute details of the meeting as well as overall conduct of the meeting. I am not alone in my endeavor. I have umpires who are the evaluators and supplementary role players, my sneakometer, Ultra H, and DRS system. So first I would like to invite our auxiliary role players. I would like to invite our timer who will keep a tab on the overall timing. Timer is Piyush, Toastmaster Piyush.
Good morning, dear Toastmasters and guests. I am timer of the day. I will be evaluating the time of all the person here. I will be evaluating time of the speaker and table topic, and at the end of the meeting I will share that.
Thank you, Toastmaster Piyush. Next is our sneakometer, or who will be listening to the minute sounds, or our counter, Toastmaster Tarun.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. Today my role is counter, whose purpose is to listen to sounds or words that you might make in your speeches as fillers or any crutch words. So I will be listening to sounds like and I will be noting down words like so and you know what, any such fillers. And I will also be noting down any repetitions in your speeches like I, this means. So at the end of the meeting, I will be reporting all of these forms. Thank you.
Finally, our stump mic, who will be listening all the dialogues and speeches and evaluating them whether the proper language was used or not. I would like to invite Toastmaster Rupesh.
Good morning, Toastmasters. Today I will be taking the role of will be observing your language, and I will be trying to find out any good usage of the words, the clarity of the thoughts, and also the any grammar errors. So the word of the day is streamline. To streamline is a verb, and streamline means to make the process simpler, more efficient, and effective. As an example, we should streamline our workflow to improve productivity. I encourage everyone to use the word in their speeches, especially the debate topics. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rupesh. I'll be back with my evaluations, my team of evaluators, and overall evaluation to ensure that we have conducted the meetings in streamlined manner. Now, back to Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Rupesh.
Now let's dive into the theme of the meeting. What is leadership? One word, one sentence. Anybody wants to share?
Leadership is leading from the front.
Leadership is leading from the front.
Leadership is leading from the back.
Leading from the back, supporting the team.
Ensuring everything is streamlined.
Ensuring everything is streamlined so that it is easier for your team to follow. So making things easier for the team. So again, leading.
Keeping the vision and objective in mind. Ensuring everybody is working on it.
Keeping the vision and objective in mind and taking everybody along. So there can be
Leadership, a leader who is taking the responsibility of the team. For example,
a leader who is taking the responsibility of the team. So there can be many definitions. Yes, Abhay.
My leadership is you are so inspirational that people are growing. They are growing in respect of your dedication.
So inspiring the team, leading by example, doing things. So there can be so many definitions. And I think everybody, irrespective of what they are doing, has certain leadership qualities in certain sphere, and they show those leadership qualities. And there is no best leader. Everybody has their way of leading, how they are leading. However, there is something called effective leadership. And organizations define that, and that's today's my whole objective to talk about how one can be an effective leader. So an effective leader, as per the theme which is situational leadership, is the one who changes their leadership style based on the competence and the competitiveness of their team members. What that means is how competent somebody is. Somebody can be a beginner, like when Toastmaster comes, there is a first speech they are delivering, they are not as competent. And there can be somebody who is a TTM, extremely competent. So based on that, a leader will develop their leadership style or operate in that way. And the second is how competitive, how confident are they? Again, a beginner can be super confident as well, but they may not be as competent. And of course, somebody who is competent can be, somebody who is competent can be confident as well. So I'm going to talk about the situational leadership. First, I would like to know if everybody can see the screen. I know it's small. If we could have a bigger screen, it would have been much better. You won't be able to read, I think, for sure.
You can tell us.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that. So what this basically means is there are 4 quadrants in this, and each quadrant defines something. So I will talk about the first quadrant, and I'll take an example of Toastmasters. The first quadrant basically is the person who is least competent but highly competitive, highly confident. An example of that could be, you want to share from Toastmasters, from all of us.
I am a physiotherapist
Exactly. They just want to do it. That I can do it attitude, but they don't know about it, makes them a D1. So they have defined D1 and S1. So just take that as a terminology. So D1 are those who don't know the job, but they are very confident to do the job. And there are 5 questions that help us to identify which one is D1, and then we have a cycle D1, D2, D3, D4. The 5 questions are: what is the specific goal or task? Just thinking in your mind, if I have to assess somebody as a D1, D2, D3 or D4, what is the goal or task I am giving? Have they done that before? If they have done that before, they are probably not in D1. If they have not done it before, they are in D1. Have they done something similar? Also gives you a good insight. How motivated are they? And how confident are they in doing it? So to take that example, if you ask these 5 questions, they are motivated, they are confident, but they don't know, and they have not done it before. So it's a D1. So for D1, your leadership style is S1, and S1 is defined as directive leadership style. So what you need to do in that directive leadership style is you teach them how to do it. So somebody who has come in Toastmasters, going to deliver an icebreaker speech, is always encouraged to speak with the mentor. The reason for that is the mentor can tell how a speech to be delivered. But if that speaker has already delivered speeches, would have an idea how to deliver. So this will vary. But if they have not delivered at all, how to deliver is one thing. Second, setting up the goal. Like for an icebreaker speech, deliver in 3 months. Setting up the timeline. So helping and supporting in every possible way. And if it comes to organization, problem solving, listening to the person, and delegating. So you are practically paving the path for that person. So that's D1 and S1 and directive leadership style. Let's go to D2. So D2 is somebody who has learned a little bit. So as a Toastmaster, has given 1 or 2 speeches, has learned it. But the confidence level is shaky. So say I am a Toastmaster, I delivered my first and second speech, but the feedback that I got is disheartening. I tried my best, but I am feeling I am not able to improve at all. You are not using body language, you don't have proper command on English, anything can be said, and that demotivates the person, brings your morale down, and that's D2. He is learning, but he is demotivated. He or she is demotivated. So the leadership style for that is S2, and in that it is more about appreciating the person for what they are doing the best. And that's how our feedback model is also structured. As a speaker, but you are doing your best, you are encouraging the speaker. You are boosting their morale. And then you are consulting them in anything that they are doing. Now I am talking more from the team perspective as you are in the organization. You involve them in the goal setting. What's your goal look like? Take their input so that they feel valued. So you need to, give them, encourage them, praise them. So that's how you need to boost their morale. And at the same time, you need to set up the goals, but involving them. You need to still teach them. So that's your S2 leadership style. Going to the third one, which is D3. Now the competence level has increased. You are quite competent, but your confidence is a little shaky. So you are still delivering the results, but it's on and off. And it can be also somebody who is finding the job really boring because the person is doing it for the longest time. They are not finding interest, and that's why the confidence is not there. And for that person, the leadership style is S3. So S3 basically again is The person is competent, so you don't have to teach them anymore how to do it. It's more about boosting their morale, giving them challenging projects, giving them something new to be excited about. So if I put in Toastmaster context, somebody is a Toastmaster for long, losing interest, probably give them challenges. Involve them into leadership roles, put them at area or district level, give them some more challenges to make the job more interesting for that person. So that's S3. And finally, it is D4. D4 is highly competent and highly confident. A person who knows the job, always enthusiastic and wants to learn something new and wants to reach to the next level. And you would have observed these people also, like all kind of people you would observe in your organizations as well, wherever you are working. But these are also the people who are like really high potential people. They want to prove themselves and go ahead. And of course, it can be daunting, like how should I lead that person? But to lead that person also again is not to get involved on how to do it, but yes, appreciate what they are doing. They need that appreciation. But at the same time, they need new challenges. That's what they love. They love what new they can do. Their satisfaction is driven by achieving something. So that's the fourth leadership style. So it's D1, S1, D2, S2, D3, S3 and D4, S4. Does anybody have any questions about it? Now this is more about discussion.
You know that someone is D1, but he considering himself D4. How you handle that conversation?
How to handle that
Situation.
As I said, very valid question. Somebody can consider themselves as D4, D3 or anything. Now D1 is who is not competent. So I have got into a job and I feel I know the job. And I am super confident. So when the person is doing the job and you observe certain things, those are the examples that you can use to tell the person that you know what, this is the better job, this is how a good job looks like. So somebody executed the task, but you know it could be done in a better way. Or there are certain errors in that. So taking those examples, giving those examples so that the person realizes, oh yeah, there is a room to improve. I'm not there. So that's how you can convey that you still have a room to improve.
But to follow that question, do you become S1 with them or S4 with them?
You become S1 with them. Now you have told that there is a room for improvement. You could do better. Now you show how to do better. Because that person is thinking, I know it all. And when somebody thinks, I know it all, practically they are not seeking learning. So you have to tell them how to do it.
What if they still not take your advice or feedback? They are at fault and they are not able to learn. And it might take a lot of time or efforts to convince them.
I think in that case also convincing is only by example. I have seen certain leaders who generalize it and say, oh, you are not doing good. You have this issue. I feel that is not the right way to give any feedback. If you have to give feedback to somebody, be very specific and give them examples, because when you are giving examples, the chances of their acceptance are really low. They may deny it once or twice, but then the real example helps them to learn, okay, I get it now. Okay, this is how I am doing it wrong. I think examples are the only way to convince somebody. Now, for example, I am walking over here, I feel I am a perfect speaker. And Rahul comes to me and tells me, you are not doing good, you could do better. I say, how? I don't believe you. You will show me the way you are walking without purpose. Just show me how. Here's the video. And now see who is the best speaker, see how the transition is happening. So you have shown me an example of how I can be a better speaker. So an example I can't deny, that's a fact. Facts cannot be denied. So it's more about that, I think.
Yeah, I just want to add that in this kind of scenario, documentation always helps. So if you have it documented that what are the KPIs and have you met it or you have not met it. So if it is documented and you had a discussion and you decided on action plan, after that you can review it and see whether it has been met. And then if you go to the action plan, you will understand whether he has followed it or not. So documentation always helps because these are people who create a scene.
Yeah, I have to actually ask a question from the context of corporate actually, because a lot of juniors working under me do not accept that they are work or something. So I have to most of the time actually do extra efforts. Maybe if even 5 people can work, but they take maybe 2 hours, 1 hour, 2 hours. So that's why I asked.
Another thing that I learned, as I said, one is example. Second is, and it's a nice phrase that we picked up, do not let the dirty dishes pile up. What that means is, if you're observing somebody and you're noting it down, but you're not telling or giving feedback to the person, waiting for year-end review. Don't do that. It's not going to happen. Right there and then, give them example, positive and negative both. Because the person must be doing something good. So that they don't feel like everything that is being told, like said to me, is negative. So it's more about you're continuously giving feedback and there is a continuous direction happening. And so by the year end, it's not a surprise to the person and they can't defend because you are right there and then telling. It happened on Sunday, you're telling on Monday and Tuesday. Not waiting for another month as well. So that's another thing that one can do.
So basically, we have to give some positives as well.
Yes, always.
So that they okay, I got it.
Yeah.
So you said the first is directive. What are the S2, D2, D3, D4? What are those?
Oh, sorry, I missed to mention that. Thank you for reminding me. The S1 is directive. S2 is coaching style. So you are taking it as a coach, raising it, asking questions, and also teaching. Third is supportive style. So you are just supporting but not teaching at all. And fourth is delegate. The person know it all. Delegate more and more. You don't have your role is basically just appreciating what the person is doing and giving more challenges. So delegate the task. Even what you are doing as a leader, some of your tasks delegate because you know the person can do it. So directive, supportive, directive, coaching, supportive, and delegate.
And also, a person can be 4 quadrants, like in different spheres, collectively.
Yes, collectively. So it is not the person actually, it is task based. So I can be D4 in certain task, D1 in certain task. So I joined Toastmaster today, I can be D1 over here, but I'm a 30-year experience in doing certain thing, I can be a D4 in that. So it's more task based, not as a person. Some people misread it as that as Rahul is a D4 or this person is a D1. It's not the person, it's the task. Okay, I have been shown the red card. With this, let's move on to the first section. And the first section is prepared speeches. We have 3 speakers today. And I'll invite our first speaker. Reduce this or switch off.
That's how you go up.
Okay, while we are fixing that, so to all the speakers, you have to be really loud so that you are heard until the back. And while we are fixing the sound problem. Our first speaker joined Toastmaster back in February 2026. He is pursuing his BBA from BML University and he is a fitness enthusiast and he loves travel. Today, he is delivering his icebreaker speech. Those who don't know what icebreaker speech is, it is the very first speech a Toastmaster delivers over here. Our evaluator for the first speaker is Toastmaster Shavasti. Shavasti, may I request you to read out the objectives?
Yes. Thank you for that, Toastmaster of the day. My speaker today, Toastmaster Siddharth, will be making his icebreaker speech. So one convention we follow with icebreaker speeches is, since it's the very first speech, once the person has spoken, we all give a standing ovation so that the person is encouraged further still. Toastmaster Siddharth is yet to select his pathway. However, as part of his icebreaker, what I'll be looking at as his evaluator is his ability to share a little of his personal history, his story with our audience. And I'll also see how far he is able to follow a basic structure in the speech that he'll be sharing, with an introduction, a body and a conclusion. Any other components such as body language, voice modulation, whatever stands out, I'll report on that when our Toastmaster of the day and general evaluator asks me to do this. Thank you.
And timer? Oh, time is 4
Time is 4 to 6 minutes, green card at 4 minutes, 5 minutes is the amber, yellow, and red is at 6 minutes.
Thank you, Shavasti. Now please put your hands together to welcome our first speaker, Toastmaster Siddharth. Toastmaster Siddharth, I had it almost, Toastmaster Siddharth.
When I was in 8th grade, my teacher asked the class a simple question. What is your biggest fear? Everyone said spiders, darkness, heights. One kid very dramatically said my dad. Then there was me. I feared not having a goal in my life. The room went quiet. The teacher looked mightily concerned. I was just 13. To understand why a 13-year-old would say something like that, you need to understand who I was. I was cricket, not a cricket player, cricket. My alarm was cricket, my conversations were cricket, my entire personality. 9 to 10 hours on the field every single day. I wasn't much of a talker. I had friends, but I was never really open with them. It was like I just don't know how to exist without a bat in my hand. The only other things that were quietly but constantly mine were music and writing. Old songs, random genres, something, a playlist that has no idea what decade it is. 1 minute it's Kishore Kumar, next minute it's The Queen, something from 1980 to 1987 that I have no business knowing. And a journal that I kept filling with words I'd never say out loud. But I didn't think this all counted as a personality. Cricket was my dream. Cricket was the answer to my every fear. Then came 11th grade. I got dengue. I was hospitalized. 1 month out of practice. Just after 2 days, when I got back, Delhi state selections started. In the first round, there were 1,500 kids. I got through. But then COVID hit me. Luckily, I still got through the second round. 1 month after, when the final round arrived, there were 120 kids, 3 test matches. I scored 347 runs, highest in the group. Delhi state selection was basically little, I could feel it. Then one afternoon, I was training for a fitness test and I twisted my ankle. I missed the tournament. I recovered, came back harder. Same ankle gone again. Doctors, specialists, scans. I got to know that I have a word defect in my ankle and it cannot be cured. I want you to sit with that sentence for a second because it took me a lot of time to sit with it. Because when your entire identity lives in your body and you have a factory defect,
you don't just lose a sport, you lose yourself. I kept playing. I told myself passion is enough. But that voice inside my head that you're not enough, it got louder. Slowly, pressure replaced passion. And eventually, without really deciding to, I stopped playing. That phase wasn't easy. I won't romanticize it. But somewhere in that silence, I found a gym. I showed up. I showed up again. 4 years later, I still show up. And now I even help others show up too. I train people. So I found something I'm genuinely good at. That my ankle thankfully has no opinions about. I also started trying more things. Like I tried modeling, I worked in real estate, I worked in a marketing agency. I also started writing more, filling pages with things that made no sense yet. And the music, yes, still there, always there, still confused whether it's 1969 or 2026. Just like me, I don't have a 5-year plan. I'm still exploring. I'm still figuring out why am I here. Someone once told me that confusion is just clarity that hasn't arrived yet. And I think about that a lot because when you're when you lose something that you've built your life around breaks, it doesn't mean you break. It means you finally have room to find what else you're made of. And maybe confusion isn't the worst thing. Maybe it's just the price of finding something better. I'll leave you with something I wrote on one of these quiet nights. It's in Hindi, so इन खामोशियों में कोई आवाज़ ढूंढता हूँ, इन खामोशियों में कोई आवाज़ ढूंढता हूँ, मैं खुद में छुपे अपने नए ख्वाब ढूंढता हूँ, इन खामोशियों में कोई आवाज़ ढूंढता हूँ, मैं खुद में छुपे अपने नए ख्वाब ढूंढता हूँ, अभी तय नहीं है मुझसे, ना कोई ठिकाना है मेरा, मैं खुद को जगा दे, मेरी रूह को जगा दे, मैं वो आग ढूंढता हूँ।
Feedback to Toastmasters Raj.
Feedback form?
Yeah, it's online and guests can actually scan with anybody who is sitting around, like from the members. Members are encouraged to show the password. Okay, 1 minute is over. It's time to invite our second speaker. He joined Toastmasters back in October 2025. He is a plant head at an MNC. His hobbies include binge watching, listening to podcasts, practicing yoga, and spending time with family. He is delivering his project from Path Presentation Mastery and Project 2 Level 1. His evaluator is Toastmaster Sumi. I would like to request Toastmaster Sumi to read out the objectives.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Team Abhay's objective is to have feedback on pauses and voice modulation. The speech title is The 5-Minute Decision That Shaped Our Lives. I will be evaluating following components in his speech: eye contact, pauses, voice modulation, stage movement, and the time limit will be 5 to 7 minutes.
Please put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Abhay. Toastmaster Abhay, the 5-minute decisions that shape your life, the 5-minute decisions that shape your life. Toastmaster Abhay.
Good morning, my dear fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
Great.
I'm Abhay Jain, Toastmaster Abhay, and I would like to talk to you something which is very, very relatable for you. How many of you have made decisions in less than 5 minutes in last 2 days, weeks, months? Okay, anybody would like to share what decision they have made in less than 5 minutes time?
I decided to pick up my boss's call when I was coming back and then work till 2 a.m.
Very good. You did a very good job. Anybody else would like to share?
I went to meet my friend.
Did you know?
I went to meet my friend. He asked me to take him out from the airport and I committed to 5 minutes.
Great, great. Thank you. So I'm talking about 5-minute decision, not to whom you are going to get married, your job change, or either you want to break up or you want to again catch up. Or I'm talking about very small, trivial, routine, very small decisions which we take in less than 5 minutes. I will just share with you one example. Few months back, late evening, sitting on my sofa, little tired, irritated. Then I took a decision to go for a walk. No motivation. I had no help course, nothing. I just decided that I will go for a walk. Very difficult. The sofa is your best friend when you push yourself to go for a walk. But somehow I pushed and I went for a walk. First day it was difficult. Second day, it's become easier. Then again and again and again. And one fine day, it became effective. I got help. I got transformation. I got a good habit, and my life was much streamlined. On that particular day, I got one revelation that our life is made by small decisions, not by big decisions. Everyday life, we face a situation, either to eat this or skip, either to scroll my phone or focus on my task, either to react immediately or to take a pause before the reaction. But there is one very interesting thing. We always think these small, trivial decisions are insignificant. We think what happens just for once. Even if we eat something or react immediately or scroll up, what happens just once. But it just once, slowly becomes our habit. And we become the identity of our habit. Our habit becomes to avoid inconvenience. Take one example. In the morning, alarm rings and we snooze. Again, alarm rings. Again, we snooze. Once in a while, it's okay, but over a period of time, it happens the same thing. What happens? Our morning gets delayed. We get a habit of again avoiding inconvenience. Second, another example, we get up, go for whatever thing we have, push ourselves, we program our mind to accept, don't accept the convenience and to accept the inconvenience and to adjust the sense of convenience we have. Afterwards, it becomes our habit. Then we understand that these small 5 minutes, less than 5 minute decisions are shaping us. They are shaping us, we are not shaping them. Our life is being shaped by these decisions. They are shaping us by the decisions which we are taking. So, what we need to do? There is no need to take 31st December, 1st January, our resolutions, which don't last even for 5 days. We just need to win every day with these small wins, very, very small wins, which looks very trivial, very small. Whenever we take next decision in our life, we must think, this small decision we must think, will this decision will push me to my goals, or it will take further away from my goals? We must understand from that. If it is pushing me towards my goal, we must take those decisions. Because our life is not made out of those big decisions. Our life is made by these small decisions. Thank you, my dear friend.
1 minute silence to give feedback to Toastmasters. Now let's welcome our speaker 3. Our speaker 3 joined Toastmaster back in January 2025. He is Associate Director, Digital Transformation at Concentrix. His hobbies include reading, watching movies, listening songs, and he is a new father. He is delivering his project from Dynamic Leadership, Project 1 Level 3. His evaluator is Toastmaster Rahul. May I request Toastmaster Rahul to read out the objectives?
Toastmaster Rahul will be giving first speech from the group and the objective of the speech is to inspire the audience and how to present the speech in an enthusiastic and inspiring manner to establish that of the audience. So I wish Toastmaster Rahul all the best. Title of this speech is Not Your Cup of Tea.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rahul. Please put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Rahul. Not your cup of tea, not your cup of tea, Toastmaster Rahul.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear friends.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Have you ever been told that this is not your cup of tea?
Yes.
Well, this incident happened with me when I was hardly 4.5 years old. I was in KG. and the incident is still fresh in my mind. This was a parent-teacher meeting, my first parent-teacher meeting, and I was accompanied by my mother. As soon as I entered the room, the teacher, as if was waiting for me, she shouted out aloud, "Mrs. Dasgupta!" And my mom and me went and sat next to her. As soon as we were seated, she started off. "Look, Mrs. Dasgupta, I wanted to talk about Orithro. Orithro has a problem. He's slow, he's daydreaming all the time, and his writing is incorrigible. I'm telling you, there is a problem. Why don't you show a doctor?" Just imagine the plight of my mother. She was patiently listening. She replied, "Look, teacher, I was also a teacher at some point of time. I know Orithro's writing is not that good, but his oratory skills are amazing. He's creative, he's sincere, and trust me when I tell you, I will work with him to improve this." The parent-teacher meeting ended, and as usual, we went to the nearest sweet shop, where my mom ordered something and told me, in fact, kept her hand on my head and told me, "Look, Rupam, we will work on this together, won't we?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." And by the way, Rupam is my pet name. So time passed by, and in another 2 weeks' time, our class teacher entered the room. And she announced that there is going to be an elocution contest. Those people who are interested can raise their hand. I was quick to raise my hand because I was always interested in it. The contest was very tough because there were 60 participants, as in who were interested, and only 6 were to be selected. And however, this was to be taken by another teacher whose name was Pulwani teacher. Luckily, I made amongst those 6, I was one of them. So our practice started. Pulwani teacher was different. She was loving, she was caring, she meant the whole world to me. After my mother, it was my teacher. She picked up the exact poem which I was about to recite. She taught me how to stand upright, what do you mean by intonation, what is voice modularity, also in terms of expression. I fell in love in terms of practicing. I was practicing day in and day out, maybe 10 times a day. And during this session, whenever I used to practice at home, it was my mom who used to practice along with me. I remember one such session when I was forgetting some lines. My mom told me, "Look, Rupam, don't worry. What is important that you are participating. Winning is not the only thing." That I still remember till now. Time passed by and the eventful day was there. The day when the English elocution contest was to be held. I was standing outside the auditorium waiting for my time, my name to be called. And just then when we were all anxious, Pulwani teacher walked in. We were all absolutely calm and composed on his feet, spoke to teacher and she wished us luck. I was waiting for one more thing. I was waiting to see if my mom had arrived. So I took a sneak peek in the auditorium, and there she was with a huge red vermilion bindi sitting in the crowd. Those were the 2 people I required. I don't need the world. I just need my teacher and my mother. I don't require anybody else. Soon my name was called. I went on the stage. I was absolutely perplexed. Why? There were 2 halogens beaming towards me. But somehow, I loved it. Do you know why? Because this was my stage. This was my area where no teacher would tell me mean words, curse me, or tell me I was having some issues. This is my time where I can excel. I can prove to my 2 most important people that what it means to me. So I did best what I knew. I had practiced a lot. So I started off making sure my pace was maintained, my intonation was perfect, and also that my facial expression was perfect. Once I completed, and when I bowed down, there was a thunderous applause. And soon, the final moment came. So the first prize goes to, any guesses? Aritra Dasgupta. And I was jumping on the floor to receive the prize from the principal. That was the moment when life changed for me. It was not a one-off streak. For the next 4 years consecutively, I won each elocution contest and winning the first prize. I took part in dramatics. I became good in studies. Standing today, I do think that how did it all happen? Let me share the mantra with you. What I did was I focused on something which I was always good at. And when I achieved success in it, I moved on to the next one, which I was not that good at. And I drew courage from the other. All I can say tell you guys that in my life, there have been so many occasions where people have told me, you can't do this. This is not your cup of tea. Leave it. I have never listened to them. And I fall back on that one occasion where I stood back and I proved to them that I was worth it. So today, I can only tell you one thing. In your life, you will get some people or a lot of people who will say, this is not your cup of tea. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them, because if you listen to them, you will never achieve anything in your life. If you have to achieve anything in your life, and if you want to dream about something, dream and work towards it. At the end, I would just like to quote one saying by the great Swami Vivekananda, which I did see in the wall of my principal, and I still remember. Stop not till the goal is reached. Thank you.
One minute of silence to give feedback to Toastmasters.
Bye everybody, it's really nice to be here. Actually, I have an office, so I'll be leaving. Thank you so much for having me.
So with this, we close the first section, which is prepared speeches. We had 3 wonderful speakers. Now we are entering into the second part of the meeting, which is table topics. And to conduct this session, we have a table topic master. Our table topic master today joined Toastmasters back in February 2026. She is a human resource professional at Talentizer, and she loves traveling. So please put your hands together to welcome Toastmasters Chetna.
Good morning, Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good morning.
So as Toastmaster of the Day, Tapesh has said that Table Topics is an impromptu speaking platform. So it's a platform where it helps train streamlining and processing information and explain it to everyone. It is both for guests and the members. Timing is 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute we will show green card, 1.5 yellow, and 2 minutes red card with a buffer of 30 seconds. Now there can be multiple approaches how we can present our cards. It can be an audio approach, which is like you have to first say opinion on the topic, then you are saying the reason why you say it, and then an example, and coming back to the opinion that you stated in the past. There can be another approach, storytelling, which can be any story or any incident you tell the past, present, and future. So with that said, let's get started. And I would like to call a member first. Any participant who want to participate? Anyone? Any members first? Toastmaster Mukesh, your topic is journey towards building confidence. What has been your journey towards building confidence, Toastmaster Mukesh?
Journey towards building confidence. First, I will ask everyone, what do you understand by confidence? Anyone? What do you understand by confidence?
Self-belief.
Self-belief.
I can do it.
Can do it. Last one.
Taking action in spite of fear.
So confidence is part of your daily consistent action. Talent is nothing if you do nothing. Talent always comes after action. So confidence, how I build a confidence? Each week, every Sunday I came here. And now I am confident and each and every stage I can go and speak. This is not my talent. This is my consistency. This is my small action. This is my weekly action. This is my preparations that every Saturday I need to schedule my time like that. Every Sunday morning I need to spare 2 hours for Toastmasters meeting. And that builds my confidence. So if you are going for a confidence, focus on consistency and don't break that chain. That's the journey of the confidence. And I think rabbit and tortoise, everyone has a story about that. Tortoise always follow the consistency and he has a confidence. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mukesh. So confidence is consistency. I would like to call a guest here. Anyone? Yeah. That's okay. Okay, alright. Toastmaster Rajesh, your topic is best memory during COVID. Best memory during COVID, Toastmaster Rajesh.
So, COVID was a phase that was a mix of good things and bad things. Bad things was many losses of lives, including my few relatives. Good was we were all together. We were all in our village, at our home, with my parents. It was almost 10 months we stayed together. That was the golden period. That will not come back again. Now we are planning to go to our native place in Papua. Cannot go. They also can't come. So it's maximum 3-4 days they come and they leave. But COVID was a phase where we spent around 10 months together, and it was nice to have office at home and family also at home. Everything. That was a combo package. So I was never like to come back to the city again. I wanted to stay back, make an office at my home itself. But practically it's not possible, and like us to do one. So yeah, so this was my experience of COVID. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajesh.
up very late, not going to college, not caring about assignments, and just probably having a very leisurely breakfast and probably going out with my family. The weird thing is that how even on Gandhi Jayanti, so many of us just don't pay any respect to the father of the nation, which is why we're actually having that particular holiday. But I think that's how time progresses, and we tend to actually forget. But yeah, that's actually how I'd be spending Gandhi Jayanti, just having a very nice leisurely day and not doing much.
Okay, any guest, any member? Yes, Shraddha, your topic is what is your ultimate goal in life?
Hi, I'm happy to be here today. So, the goal which we're talking about here is possibly see there have been multiple goals along the whole journey till now. I'm 32 now, and within these 32 years, I think I've achieved a few goals, possibly felt defeated in some. But one of them was that I was very overweight when I was, in my 20s, and there I thought that okay, I'm not able to do this, and possibly I'll never be able to come down to a particular size. And that particular time, that goal was that how do I create this confidence in me? And I read the Atomic Habits, and I think that created a very big difference in my life. And since then, it's been 2.5 years, almost 2 years, and I lost 26 kg of weight. And this is not with any kind of fads, this is not with anything else, it is only consistency. So when I see my goal now, I feel my next goal is to do public speaking here. And this was my first step, where I wanted to feel that okay, I can possibly do this, I can talk to a group of, like say, 10 people. But when it comes to 25, 30, 40 people, I kind of lack that confidence. And it's not that I don't know how to articulate things, but when I see so many people, my confidence gets shaky, like you mentioned earlier. So that's my goal for now. And I run a business with my mother. And this year we touched 1,000 CR as a revenue. And we plan to do around 2,300, 4,000 CR as the year progresses. And my ultimate goal is to possibly see her happy, because she created the life we have today, and I wouldn't have been here if she did not have those ambitions. So my ultimate goal is to possibly seek her validation, and I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I think that's something that drives me. Thank you.
Very well said, Shraddha, that the goal is to make her mother happy. Anyone now? Virat. Toastmaster Virat, your topic is tell us about the web series that made you laugh. A web series that made you laugh.
About the web series, I generally don't watch much. But last week, while scrolling through the Instagram, I got to know about the web series one known as Suits. Okay, I just see the name of the character, but they're discussing that it's quite very interesting. Like the Harvey Specter, the name of that lead role, is quite interesting, and it's telling how we communicate, how the confidence he has, how he when goes through the in front of people, how he speaks, how he carries his confidence. So that is something I wanted to learn. So that's the web series. I have started the Suits yesterday, and I have watched 2 episodes, one in yesterday night, and I was so fond of that. When I wake up early in the morning, I already completed another episode also. So I'm learning now how the confidence and how he walks, how he deals with the situation at that moment he carries. So all those things I also wanted to learn and implement in my life. So that's the series I will watch it, and probably by next week when I give, I will complete one series of that also. So that's it. Thank you.
everyone. Your name?
I'm Vikas.
Yes, because your topic is describe festivals you celebrate other than Holi and Diwali.
Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. This about the festival which I would like to tell is, see, apart from Diwali and Holi, there are lots of festivals in India which we are celebrating. And among those, the Navratri festival is one, and another one, the most important festival which we celebrate in Maharashtra is the Ganpati festival. So let me tell you about the Ganpati festival. So Ganesh festival is celebrated every year in Maharashtra across the state, and lots of people are coming together to celebrate it. So this is today is my first day, and I would like to watch others, and then I will speak more in next coming on.
Thank you so much, Vikas.
Vikas.
Who wants to come next? Your favorite person in your family?
Hi everyone, hi, my name is Gaurav Arora, and my topic is my favorite person in my family. So as my favorite person, my mother was my favorite person, but she's no more. And I just got blessed with our baby boy, and he's now a favorite person in my family. So he keeps me engaged the entire day, and I just look at him, that how he observing me day by day. Whenever I'm eating something, whenever I'm drinking something, when I'm shouting, crying, or yelling at my wife. So he always observes me a lot, and the expression he gives to me, and so this is all makes him favorite for me, because these all the expression he gives to me. He can't speak as of now, but this all all these things makes him my favorite in the family. So I do not have a lot of things to say as of now, because he can't express the things, but later on when he will, but he's going to be the favorite person in me.
How old is he? How old is he?
He is 11 months old right now, and he's so cute. Thank you.
Okay, anyone next? We have one. Arif. So Arif, your topic is your idea of ideal eating breakfast or brunch. Your idea of ideal breakfast or lunch.
Very good morning everyone. I'm Arif Khan. So my idea of ideal breakfast is something which has a lot of protein. So I think that gives us a very good start for the morning. Usually we have things that are not really good for our bodies. Maybe cereals, cornflakes, those sort of things. But I think those are not really good for our bodies. We should focus on things which help our bodies do better. I usually prefer omelette first thing in the morning, or maybe something like a protein shake. So that's something that I usually prefer, and it's ideal. So that's mostly about it. Yes, I think people need more awareness about what should be taken in the first thing in the morning.
you, Toastmaster Chairman, of the wonderful session. Now we will break for 5 minutes and then we'll resume and have the third session. Thank you. Now you all must be waiting for the third section. Our third section is evaluation section and it will be led by Toastmaster Manu. So I would like to welcome Toastmaster Manu to lead the
Thank you, Toastmaster Tapesh. I hope you have witnessed great speeches and table topics. Now it's my turn to give feedback to all the speakers. For that, first I would like to invite our prepared speech evaluators to give feedback to our prepared speakers. First, I would like to invite Toastmaster Shravasti to evaluate Toastmaster Siddharth's speech.
Cricket, the dream of a billion Indians. My speaker today, Toastmaster Siddharth, was no different. And yet, he stood out. Because, like quite a few of the youth, he too, for some reasons, was unable to pursue that passion which gave him joy in his life. However, that didn't stop him from exploring other facets of his life. I loved the way when Toastmaster Siddharth talked about how his range of interests in music were from Kishore Kumar to Queen. Wow, what a medley I could already hear in my mind of the music that he must be tuning to. I also loved how Toastmaster Siddharth in his speech walked us through the difficult parts that he had to face in the bedroom, which may or may not be a word home, but definitely an injury in one's ankle in which there was nothing much to do. And of course, the beauty with which Toastmaster Siddharth walked us through the emotional cornucopia of the experiences he's had. He did not shy away from showing us how it broke him at one point, but at the same time, it also enabled him to explore other avenues, eventually enabling him to find his passion once again when he joined gym. And not only did it become a point of interest for him, he also ensured that he ended up motivating others. So in this beautiful 4-minute, 5-minute speech, Toastmaster Siddharth has done amazingly when it comes to walking us through the hero's journey which his life represents. Of course, there's always things that could be done differently. And to my speaker today, I would request him to use the stage space a little more efficiently. The movement that was there was rather unsure. The second thing which I would like him to keep in mind is he could modulate his voice a little bit, just the way I am doing now. Maybe take a step back, lower down his voice when he's talking about the way, and then when he's exuberant, come forward and raise his voice. That will add a lot of dynamism to his manner of speaking. Overall, I didn't feel it was a nice icebreaker speech, and I'm sure Toastmaster Siddharth will go far and be able to streamline the speaking process in his Toastmasters journey. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shravasti, for an encouraging feedback to Toastmaster Siddharth. Now, I would like to invite Toastmaster Sudhir to evaluate Toastmaster Abhay's speech.
PM Abhay started his speech with an engaging question. How many of us have taken decisions in 5 minutes? We could all remember our experiences and our memories. The good points which I observed in the speech was the hand movement. The
hand movement shows us what is coming next, and this is the most effective way of communication. The pauses were also placed very effectively in the speech, and the overall progress of the speech was also at the correct pace. I was able to understand the context very well. The speech, coming to the facial expressions, it was there in the speech, like raising of eyebrows and smile, which also helped in understanding. The ending was perfect with the quotation that our life is made of not the big ones but the small decisions. Big movements in our life come seldom. So we must focus on the smaller ones which come in our lives nearly daily. These are the small moments which shape our lives. Now coming to the improvement points, which I think these are the areas of improvements which can be improved upon. First one was the movement on the stage. Although you covered the entire stage, but the movement was continuous. So along with the pauses in the speech, you can have pauses in the movement also. It is better, I think, for the new members to rehearse before coming to the stage. Along with the speech, we must also rehearse the gestures and the body language. That really helps in performance. And the second thing which can be improved is that in your speech, certain phrases I would hear they were lower in voice. So it was difficult for the last lecturers to understand. Apart from this, I really enjoyed your speech and enjoyed the speech.
Now, last but not the least, I would like to invite Toastmaster Rahul to evaluate Toastmaster Arita's speech.
Toastmaster Aritra gave a wonderful speech with an emotional touch on a very relevant topic. It's not your cup of tea. Many times we have seen that people told us that it's not your cup of tea. Through his speech, Toastmaster Aritra conveyed a very important message that sometimes we should just listen with one ear and let it pass. Few positives I could observe in his speech. The first one was the start. It was a very energetic start. He started with the question as well when he said that how many of you were told that it's not your cup of tea. I could see there was 1 minute silence prior to his speech and quite a few people were sleeping. As soon as he started, everyone was attentive and listening. So wonderful start, Toastmaster Aritra. Second positive thing about his speech was the structure of the speech. There was a proper start, the body which has the story, the personal touch, and the conclusion. I specifically like the conclusion where he ended with a call to action. A lot of time speakers miss on that, but kudos to Aritra. He had a call to action, and when you are having a call to action, the audience is prepared that the speech is about to end and has something to take out of it. Third good thing about Toastmaster Aritra's speech was the stage movement. He is a seasoned Toastmaster, and now stage movement is a piece of cake for him. I could see entire stage coverage and the entire audience was covered. Though the speech was really good, it has all the elements to be a great speech. However, there were a few points I could observe can be improved. The first one was the speech was really fast paced. I could see it was quickly started and quickly ended, and some of the aspects of the speech was missed by the audience. So I would request Toastmaster Aritra to take a pause, slow it down so that the audience can process what you are saying. And the second recommendation for Toastmaster Aritra would be the vocal variety. There were instances where it could be little emotional, and to generate the emotion, you have to be little bit slow, little bit low pitch while sharing those thoughts. Overall, it was a great speech. It has all the elements. If Toastmaster Avitra could slow it down, have lower pitch, have more emotions in his speech, he is going to give or deliver incredible speeches going forward. So that would be it for me. Thank you. And over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rahul, for such an elaborative feedback. Now it's turn of our auxiliary role players, our stump mic, sneakometer, and oh sorry, I forgot. So I'd like to invite Toastmaster Anup to evaluate the table topics.
Good afternoon, everyone. What an amazing session it was. Very well structured and very well conducted by Toastmaster Chetna. Let me start with the table topic master, Toastmaster Chetna. Topics were really good. She came with 8 amazing topics. She explained the folio approach really well, along with the typing rules. Now come to the speakers. Speaker number 1, Toastmaster Mukesh. The topic was journey towards building confidence. We started with a question and engaging the audience. Folio approach was followed. One improvement area would be you could add some voice modulation to your speech. Speaker number 2, Toastmaster Rajesh. Best memory during COVID. He structured his thought really well and told us his experience of COVID. One improvement area would be your hands were plugged during your speech, and you could higher your voice level so that people sitting behind could listen better. Our third speaker was Toastmaster Nisa. Her topic was how do you celebrate Gandhi Jayantī. I really appreciate how quickly you think about the topic, and her confidence was really high, and she quickly thought about the topic, and it was not a very simple topic, but she quickly thought about the topic and delivered the speech. And the improvement area would be the eye contact was restricted towards the left. She could cover the whole area. Next, speaker 2, guest Shraddha. The topic was structured her thought. The topic I forgot. She structured her thought really well by telling a personal story. I appreciate your storytelling. One observation was your hands were also clubbed, so you may use the stage movement or open body language to show some confidence. Next, speaker 5, Toastmaster Virat. A web series that make you laugh. You started speaking really quickly and told about suits. One suggestion would be you could take some time to thought about any web series or any series you have seen in the past that make you laugh, like Star Trek or anything, and you may structure your speech according to that and take some time. Next, speaker 6, guest Vikas. Festivals other than Diwali or Holi you celebrate. I appreciate your courage you gave to stage, and you gave your first speech today. One suggestion would be your hands were behind your back, so you may show some open body language and you may come to stage very frequent to gain some confidence. Next, speaker 7, guest Gaurav. My favorite person in my family. You started talking about your mother, then you shifted to Last guest Arif, your idea of ideal breakfast for lunch. Initially, you were hesitating to come to stage, but you got some courage to come on the stage and structured your thought and spoke about how you prioritize your routine and ideal breakfast. One suggestion would be your stage movement was quite frequent, so you could have a little, you may follow the stage like this, and a little restricted stage movement for the student. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anu, for evaluating all the topics speakers. Now, it's a final section, auxiliary evaluators. First, I would like to invite our Grammarian, Toastmaster Rupesh, to talk about everybody's language uses. Toastmaster Rupesh.
Hello again. Starting with the word of day, I am happy to report that we were able to use it 2 times. Toastmaster Shostri and Toastmaster Amit used the word. And apologies if I am not able to catch anyone else, because I forgot to mention that we have to give a thumbs up whenever we use the word of day. I observed some good use of structured sentences and clear communication. Many speakers were able to present the ideas in a logical and coherent manner, which made it very easy to follow. Few areas of improvement. There are some minor grammar slips, especially around verb forms and sentence correction. With a little more attention, this can be easily corrected. I just want to give you a few examples. For example, there was extra verb, the usage of article. So to give the example, we can just say, so to give example, bring your moral down. So this was a incomplete sentence. We need to add the subject. It brings your moral down. So there was good usage of word from Toastmaster Arindra. He used the word sneak peek, perplex, accept. I also noticed occasional use of filler words like actually, basically, like. Reducing this can make the communication very impactful. Overall, it was a great session, and many speakers were able to streamline their thoughts and present them clearly. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rupesh. Now, I would like to invite our counter, Toastmaster Tarun, to present our counter report.
There are permutations 2 to 3 times, and PM Arindra was no mistakes, and PM Shilpa there are no mistakes, and PM Mukesh mistakes, and PM Rajesh there are uses of once and so 2 times, and basically we started with the and so, and PM Vishnu no mistakes. Yes, Mr. Jha, no mistakes. PM Virat, no mistakes. And yes, because we have used once and so 3 times. Yes, Gaurav, we have used once, once and so 2 times and 3 times. Yes, Tarif, no mistakes. PM Smith, once. PM Rahul, there's a lot of repetition, and PM Manav, no mistakes, PM Rupesh, no mistakes.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tarun. Last but not least, I would like to invite Toastmaster Tarun, President Piyush.
So hello everyone, I am back with my report. Toastmaster Shavasti, the deciding officer, she was allowed to talk 5 minutes and she took 5 minutes and 38 seconds. Toastmaster, the page for the initial introduction, you were allowed for 3 minutes and you took 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Toastmaster Aishwarya for the joke, it was for 1 minute and you took only 48 seconds. Toastmaster Bhanu, General Elevator, 5 minutes, you took 4 minutes and 19 seconds. And then for the team discussion, Toastmaster Pradesh, it was for 18 minutes and you took 17 minutes and 32 seconds. Coming back to the speaker, the speeches, first is icebreaker speech, Toastmaster Siddharth. So the time allotted was 6 minutes and so you took 6 minutes and 58 seconds. Toastmaster Abhay, it was for 7 minutes and you took 5 minutes and 48 seconds. Toastmaster Aritra, for 7 minutes you took 7 minutes and 5 seconds. Coming back to debate topic, Toastmaster Mukesh, you took 1 minute and 39 seconds. Toastmaster Rajesh, you took 1 minute and 47 seconds. Then you took Toastmaster Manisha, you took 46 seconds. Then we have Shraddha, you were allotted 2 minutes and you took 2 minutes complete. Then we have Toastmaster Virat, 1 minute and 7 seconds. As a guest, Mr. Vikas, 1 minute and 5 seconds. Gaurav, 1 minute 2 seconds. And Arif, 1 minute and 5 seconds. So that's all from my side. So for evaluators, we have Toastmaster Shavasti, you took complete 3 minutes. Toastmaster Sumit, you took 2 minutes 18 seconds. And Toastmaster Rahul, you took complete 3 minutes.
Thank you, Toastmaster Piyush, for presenting the accurate time duty. Now it's time for overall feedback of the meeting. Just like an IPL match, while it's very important to start on time and end on time, so I would like to give kudos to all the EC to start the meeting at dot 10:30, and if I see the timing, we are almost on the schedule, so it's a great thing. Our Sergeant at Arms, even though he is a new role player, but he has shown a lot of confidence. He came prepared today. He gave the hygiene instructions as well as he welcomed everybody, introduced the presiding officer. Our presiding officer, she is always motivational, energetic and dynamic. She shared an inspirational story and we will all remember her story for that. Good job, Toastmaster Shavasti. And she also encouraged the guests to introduce themselves. Our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Tapesh, he did a wonderful job. He introduced the structure of the meeting, introduced the role players, and his theme about situational leadership. I am sure everybody must have learned a lot about leadership today. Like I also learned all this S1, S2, S3, S4. I made a note of it, so I will use it in my life. He correlated it general examples, the Toastmaster example, everybody could relate with that. He also interacted a lot with audience, so never at any point we felt bored or disengaged. One recommendation I would like to give, since this was a longer theme, around 20 minutes, you could have broken it into parts and in between you could have filled with the speeches. So in that way, audience also get engaged with that. Speeches, we have already got the evaluations. Table topics, good. Toastmaster Chetna did a good job with the table topics. The table topics were generic and moderate to speak. I could see that even a novice speaker or who has never come on the stage could speak about those topics. So good job, Toastmaster Chetna. Coming to the evaluations, all the evaluators followed the CRC approach. So in Toastmasters, we usually give recommendations and commendations. Whatever the recommendation part, even though all the speakers, they look more towards the recommendation because we want to improve. Toastmaster Shravasti, as usual, she used all her language proficiency, expertise, vocal variety to give a fantastic evaluation and encourage the speaker to come back again and again. Toastmaster Sumit, good evaluation, but I would have a couple of suggestions. When you talk about stage movement, give a recommendation on stage movement, please demonstrate how the speakers can use stage better. So in general, when we talk about stage movement, so if any speech has 3 parts or 4 parts, so for each part use one point of the stage, like starting from the left, center and the right. Okay? So that way you can demonstrate to the speaker and teach him or her how to use stage more efficiently. Also, please summarize your evaluation in the end. So that's one part I could not find in your evaluation. Evaluation 3, Rahul, he also used good CRC approach, good recommendation and summarized very well. Table topics evaluator, Anup, he did good job evaluating and yes, because we have so many table topic speakers and he, in brief, he summarized, give the recommendation and recommendation. One suggestion for Toastmaster Anup, I see that you move a lot on the stage. Try to be still on the stage and try to speak from one point. Your evaluation doesn't require so much movement. Auxiliary role players, they did a fantastic job, especially Toastmaster Rupesh in his grammarian role. He gave his report comprehensively. Suggestions for primary evaluator, don't just come and plainly speak about your report. Try to innovate, try to be more creative. Overall, it was a good meeting. I learned a lot about leadership, good speeches, good table topics. I really loved the meeting and the audience also was very engaged. Thank you.
Thank you so much, General Carpenter. It always feels great when we reach the end of a meeting that has been structured and conducted well. And needless to say, none of these are ever going to be possible until and unless each and every role player associated with the designated tasks takes up their own leadership styles, focuses, works. In fact, just to add to it, when Toastmaster Tapesh was telling us about situational leadership, the first thought in my mind was leadership that comes based on the situation I find myself in. So in that way, considering my situation, the situation that the role players find themselves in, every single person today in the meeting has done an excellent job. Thank you so much, team, for that. While I wait, I hope the members take the time to give the feedback. The feedback and the voting is also done. Voting for the best role players, the best table topic speakers, the auxiliary role player and the best prepared speech speakers. While we are at it, can I please request our guests of the day today to share your impressions. What did you feel, so on and so forth. I was able to talk to you, so we'll start with you and we'll move on to the others. Yes.
Actually, I came here to learn. So I find here that everybody is giving 100% efforts to talk, to deliver his speeches. And everyone, I can see that everyone in the hall has went to the stage and has spoken, and that's very good for me, and I think I will continue this as a member.
Thank you. You didn't get a chance to introduce yourself in the beginning, so if you could start with that as well.
My name is Rajesh Kumar Sahu. I am Professor and I am Chartered Accountant. Currently I am doing the technical group, working working as accounts payable and treasury head, and taken up banking operations also. And personally married, I have a daughter with 11 years old, and I stay in sector 56. This is all about me. And coming to the feedback on the meeting, I will discussing with the group in the break itself. That is a big mix of the people. There are always good people, also young people, some business professionals, job holders. So it's a good mix of people to interact and network and to improve our social connection and improve our communication skills also. So I will be happy if I join and continue it.
Great, thank you so much. And after we are done with the formal bit, I'm going to walk up to the two of you and get your phone numbers. Yes, please.
So, this is my second session, and I really like the way we are conducting all this. It really gives an opportunity to speak. The last time when I came here, I did not get that courage to come on the stage and speak in front of everybody. But now I just got some courage and started trying to deliver my impromptu speech. So I'm confident that if I keep coming like this, and I would be able to muster some thoughts, gather some thoughts, and some valuable content to speak on and will improve. So this is I think I'm going in the right direction, and I'm heading to the right direction. And I'll keep coming to this class to get benefit out of these sessions.
Excellent, thank you, thank you. Yes, please. What are your impressions now that you've attended the session?
I wasn't expecting that I'll come on stage and speak firstly, but I think